Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And the new Dark Souei has come out, his first summonable character in over 2.5 years. That is stupid crazy to think about, but his last character was Earth Souei that you could summon for, and that was like March of 2022 or something like that. So August of 2024, it's been a hot minute since we've summoned for a Souei. And I think it was actually kind of well worth the wait because, in my humble opinion, this Souei is probably one of the best characters in the game, especially for a magic focused team. So, looking at his banner, it is the same as the Momiji and Benimaru. They have the same featured characters, which isn't a lot, but it has the Tempest Elite Benimaru, who is a good unit for physical teams. It has Idol Shuna, and it has Bride Shuna, who are both, fine. Bride Shuna only used for the Triple Orb Steal. Idol Shuna is an okay support unit for green teams because she's got the double alt swap to greens, and then the magic or the synergy buff for magic allies, and it has a bunch of old other 5 stars. So I mean, it does have EX characters on it, which is a lot more you can say than, the whole entire meta of Determination to Prosper. But this Souei is actually disgusting. Disgusting. There are a few things, like a minor hiccups that I would change, but it doesn't, detract from the fact that his kit is, I think, A+. So he is dark, he's magic, Ogre's Pride, Tempest Elite, and Stern of Spirit. He uses a dark katana, so if you have, Summer Millum, who uses a dark katana, you can just take it off of her and give it to him. He's attack growth, so he's going to have higher attack stats than, a balance or a defense growth. He is an AoE alt, 300%, and then, double damage on EX. He lowers pierce resistance, so he is meant to, be the first nuker to send or to give Momiji or whatever the single target fire character is next week going to be, give them extra power. His first skill increases all magic characters' attack by 70%. This is separate and different than the magic attack buff that Visions of Coleus Violet does. She is buffing magic attack, and he is buffing attack for magic allies. So they will combine together for a very powerful buff. And then he just gives everybody 50% synergy power. This is unrestricted. The only restriction here is that the attack buff is for magic characters only, which we've seen how useful Violet is for the past almost a year, because it's always either physical or magic meta. It's literally half the game. And Visions of Coleus Violet is still a fantastic support option. This Souei is only just better than that, right? He's buffing something different than Violet, which means you can run them together, and he's a really good support. And then 50% synergy power for everybody, regardless. You don't have to be physical, you don't have to be magic, you don't have to be Ogre's Pride, it's just everybody gets synergy power for 50%. But if you use more than 300 points before you use this skill, it will then become 100% synergy power. So you have a 70% attack buff and a 100% synergy power buff for 80 points. That is pretty impactful right there. Pretty good, okay? Just want to make that very clear. His second skill is a special convert for 25 points. And you might look at that and say, oh, well, they only gave him the 10% gauge increase. It's just kind of a standard convert. It's not really all that great. And that's where you would be wrong, because you didn't actually read. And to be fair, I also did not read this correctly when the stream started and he first came out, because the wording is a little bit different. Because he changes non-divine protection orbs, which are blues, not blue orbs times 2, into blue orbs. It just has a specific color, these two colors, because he has the capability of changing either or. So, the tempered edge, not tempered edge, but beatdown battle, the starting hand is 1 green and 1 orange, right? He can change that, okay? But after that turn is over, if you get like a 2 orange hand and 4 blues, he can also convert that. He can also convert a double green hand. he can change literally any color of 2 orbs to blues, and it is unrestricted. The only times we've seen this is for free-to-play characters where they change, like Stern of Spirit, or Ogre's Pride, like this Hakuro does. Or it's like summonable characters where it's Tempest Elite Shuna, who changes, Tempest Elite orbs all to blue. Or the new Prosper Lumi, who changed all Fire and Earth orbs to blue. Those were full conversions. It doesn't really matter what color you are. But the Souei does not have any such restrictions. You don't have to be on a specific element. You don't have to be on a specific force. It's just, if you have 2 orbs that are not blues, they will become blues. It does not work for alts. It should kind of be obvious. People were very confused because it just says non-blue, and technically alts are not blue orbs. But it has to specifically say Soul of Combos for it to be changed. So it'll change normal orbs of any color to blue. And you can use this quite efficiently with Violet, because she's changing 2 oranges and 1 green. And the problem I had with this team, before he came out, was that we don't really have a lot of green support units that work very well on this team. I mean, there's Albus, there's that free-to-play Cleash, there's Kazuma, if you have him, but he can change greens. Like, if you use Violet first and that leaves 2 green orbs left over, Souei will change them. If you use Violet's Convert and it leaves 2 oranges, Souei will change them. And that right there is just incredible. So he's got an incredible orb change that's unrestricted and can change any color. And he's got a very, very good buff that's restricted to magic for its full power. But again, magic is half the game. Half the teams, if not more, are magic based. And he's got guaranteed between 50 or 100% synergy power for everybody, regardless. This Souei is probably going to go up into like double S tier minimum, next to Violet on the tier list. I'm going to put that out right now. Well, I'm going to put that opinion out right now. His traits are where he kind of falters a little bit. They're not as good as I want it to be, but his main kit is very good, so it's forgivable. His Valor trait seals attack skills, which is not as impactful as magic skill sealing or body and spirits in Valor Cup, but hey, it's still a seal of some sort. And then his actual trait, if you pull dupes for him, if you send 6 blues, he gives himself 10% extra pierce power. It's really only useful for him. It's not protection gauge on like turn 2 or 3. It's not skill points. It's just specifically for him, or if he's in a support slot, he'll give it to whoever he's supporting. These traits, could be better, but overall, like this kit right here, he's got a debuff on his ult, he's got a crazy powerful buff, and he's got an unrestricted orb change. This Souei is cracked. Actually cracked. And, I was hoping that they would redeem Souei, and they 120% most certainly have. Now becomes the issue. Do you summon for Souei? This is going to be pretty difficult, because Souei is a very, very, very good unit. I would say better than Momiji as a support character. Momiji is as good as an AoE dupe, like nuker, right? And Souei will certainly help her. But her buffs are not as impactful. Guaranteed Pierce, guaranteed Synergy for the rest of the team are not good by themselves. They'll increase your damage output, but you need like the power buffs from it. The Synergy resistance down, we have a lot of units that do that already. Commander Hinata, Blanc, they do Synergy resistance down. A little bit less than Momiji, sure, but they do it. So it's like the support that you're getting from Momiji on a team that's not focusing on her nuking is much less impactful than running Souei and his buffs in a prime setting. So, if you have Momiji and you have Benimaru, do you pull for Souei? I kind of would lean into the maybe, into the yes category. If you don't have Momiji or Benimaru and you don't really have a good magic team to begin with, no, you don't summon for Souei, because he's specifically buffing magic characters to their fullest, and if you don't have a good magic team and you've got, the commander meta or the primal demon meta, and they're physical focused, he's not going to do that much for you, unfortunately. So you're better off skipping him. and waiting for him to come back on a rerun or as a featured character somewhere else. And again, the third anniversary is creeping up at the end of October, October 28th. I don't know how many times I have to keep saying this before people stop asking me what date it is. It'll be October 28th when the triple featured unit banner comes out that everyone should summon on. All right. So, if you don't have a good Magic team, I would still hold for the October 28th date. If you do have a good Magic team, and more specifically, a blue stacking Magic team, this Souei will work fantastically. You do need someone to give synergy to activate his full buff, but those are becoming more and more common. So, I mean, he is going to be a very good unit. He's going to be useful for a long time. The only time he's not going to be useful is if they nerf synergy in a stage, in like a future beatdown battle, and they just hardcore do not want synergy. That will be a time where you don't want to bring him. But apart from that, he's got a lot of value, and it's going to be really hard telling people not to summon for him when his support output is through the roof. So it's a really hard decision, guys, and I'm sorry that I can't make it for you, but you know, they are your crystals. You spend them how you think. If you are inclined to spend money, we actually have probably the best packs in the game for him. Not quite, but still very good, because you have this $80 pack, which is expensive. It has 1,100 crystals, and it comes with two 30%er tickets. Not one ticket like, you know, Momiji down here or Benimaru, right? It's two 30%er tickets. All right, it is Stern of Spirit Force Showcase, so it's going to be a number of other Stern of Spirit characters. But it's a 30% EX and a 15% chance to be, right? Right? Am I reading that right? Let me go to the details here, because I'm actually not. I didn't buy any. So, all right. Total drop rate for EX is 30, and Souei has 15%. Okay, so if we go down here, it should be... where's Souei? Yeah, Souei just has flat out 15%. So, I mean, if you are inclined to spend money and you want Souei, I mean, this is going to be the best pack to buy him with. Or you can try to do the new the 10%ers that are much cheaper, but, you know, less chance, right? They're good packs to buy. Those are high value packs. The best value we've seen in quite a long time. But overall, this Souei, I think, is worth it if you have Magic teams to put them on. So make the hard decision, you know. If you don't have a lot of crystals, then no, you shouldn't summon, because you don't have a lot, and you should continue to save up more for the anniversary. But if you're sitting on a stockpile of like 6 to 10k crystals or something, and you're like, man, I really like the Souei, I do have a team I can put them on, maybe it's a bit worth it. Maybe. You could still be shafted, by all means, and if that's the case, then sorry, RNG sucks. But he's going to be a very good pickup for now and in the future. So if you did summon for him, let me know how your summons went in the comments below. But that's it from me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.